Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Future Friday, we're going to talk about ISS future. So let's dive right into it. Now, what exactly is the problem with ISS at this point in time is that ISS supposed to be made of three major partners, meaning any one of those partners should be able to take care of ISS at worst case scenario, which was NASA, ESA, and Roscosmos. Unfortunately, ESA went YOLO and NASA went YOLO, and right now current scenario is that there is ludicrously high dependency on Russian and Ukraine system. Yes, Ukraine is also included in this. That simply means if NASA does not take care of ISS is gonna survive. If ESA does not take care of ISS, ISS will survive. If Roscosmos lets go, YOLO, the end. So that's a very serious dependency problem, and that's why you will notice that why the heck Americans are so dependent on, because Atlas also uses Russian engines, and this puppy, that Antares rocket, I think it's also uses Ukrainian upper stages, so to say. So it's like everything is externally dependent, and ironically Roscosmos, even though they have very small budget, very small stake in ISS, the controlling vote, basically they have much higher. It's like a ludicrously large amount of it, and Russia-Ukraine war in 2022 makes it ludicrously comparable, because this time it's almost unavoidable. So the fact that they are literally still using the ancient rocket made by USSR is kind of ironically powerful for them, simply because they know how this puppy works. They designed everything around this puppy, so it works. It's like they have Progress spacecraft, and Americans don't have anything better, because inherently they are still using RD series of engines. So it's like, duh, like everything is dependent on Roscosmos, meaning even though ULA has already procured the engines they need for further future launches, the tech support on those engines are, well, lol. You're not gonna get tech support now. Do you need it? That's a variable. Again, you can try that, and be mindful, ULA is gonna launch all those engines. There is no point keeping those engines into warehouse, because again, multi-million-dollar parts, you cannot just roll on that. So anything they have already acquired, it's inside their own hand. They can do whatever they want to do. But if engines shows up a fault during testing, they cannot do anything after that. They have to just scrub the mission, and that is why, like, there was a recent push to make basically everything American. So this problem right now, given the fact that there are three players, and two of the major players who are paying in terms of forfeiting the majority of the bill, somehow still has less controlling stake than Roscosmos. It's very problematic, and given the fact that you want to put sanction on Russia, it's really gives Russia much uneven hand, where they're like, no, I can drop your ISS. Again, directly they cannot do that, but you get that point. They have that threat level of power. Now, be mindful, there was an early warning before this. This was one of those scenarios where if NASA would have reacted, they would have taken care of themselves, which ironically they did try to react to it. Now, Russia-Crimean annexation that happened in 2014 gave a very clear sign of things to come, because Putin is like kind of I have to conquer things, otherwise what's the point of me kind of guy. So he has to do that. He will do that. It was like very clear in 2014. People figured it out. It's like, no, we have to take care of Russia. That was like absolute agenda at that point in time. And NASA directly realizing how vulnerable they are to Russia, and like, oh, if Russia does not provide us our engine, we cannot launch our own goddamn military satellites. That was like very shocking to them. That was like, bitch slap. That was a hard bitch slap to them. And Russia, basically NASA did develop some good engines. That was RS-25, but they never did anything with that. Like, after space shuttle was retired, they did not like, okay, we take the engines, make it into a small rocket system that we can just take it and go right now. They did not do that. It was just left into a warehouse. So that was a very bad decision, so to say. There was no replacement of ISS, and still ISS, I'm saying, this is space shuttle, and nothing still yet. So NASA, realizing how vulnerable they are, they focused on strategy. The strategy was making a rocket that does not have RS series, basically RD series of engine. So Vulcan was developed. Vulcan supposed to be used completely American made, Boeing engine, Boeing, I'm saying, Blue Origin BE4 engines, and then Starliner. Now this puppy is a bit lower capacity in terms of Dragon, but it does have propulsion module, meaning this puppy can properly reboost ISS. Be mindful, space shuttle was able to do all those things. That's why NASA never developed a dedicated tool for propulsion. So Vulcan will take care of the rocket part, Starliner will take care of the propulsion and crew capacity, and Dragon will act as a backup. Now, again, you may be like, why the heck Dragon was chosen as a backup scenario? Well, again, you have to understand, 2014, SpaceX was not SpaceX that we know now. At that time in point, you were like, who are you gonna trust, ULA or Boeing or some random dude known as SpaceX or Elon Musk? So again, it's still a very good strategy. It's like they figured it out. Like in 2014, it was a wake up call, and thankfully, because of this sort of like actual bit slap, they sorted their economics. Meaning, NASA had a lot of money, asking a lot of money from basically government to provide for what we call commercial resupply missions. They were not getting it flat out. They were like, nope. Nope. But this mission was like, okay, just shut up and take money. Make sure that we are interdependent. So Dragon was delivered. Now here's the problem with that. Dragon is the only thing that is still delivered after 8 years. 8 years, like they had 8 years to take care of the situation, and all of this puppy, basically Blue Origin engines and Starliner, should have been ready by now. Like multiple missions on these two puppies should have been done by now, but they are, both of them, we are behind schedule. At this point in time, only Dragon is reliable, tested, and actually human certified. So that is a very serious failure on the part of Blue Origin and Boeing, because ULA have sorted the Vulcan basically chassis and everything. They have sorted that part out. They have done even wet rehearsals with that, like, you know, dry run and everything. They have sorted that puppy out. They're just waiting for the engines, but if without engine, rocket is pointless. So the early warning did made NASA react to it. Like NASA was like, okay, we have to fix this problem. They acted accordingly also to it. Like 8 years is enough time that they should have sorted this puppy out. They did try to sort it out, but unfortunately, because of the ULA and basically Starliner failure, they're like just going round and round, round and round. So there was early warning to it, and NASA did try. They tried their best to react to it. Now, what is the current situation of ISS? At this point in time, ISS will take years to fall. Now, let me be very clear. If everybody yoinks out of ISS right now, there are more than enough inertia, more than enough mass in ISS that it will take a significant amount of time, as in years before it goes down to low enough orbit, where if you try to reboost it, the atmospheric drag will destroy the station. So it has years. However, that being said, it still needs 24/7 booster availability, simply because it has to do what we call space debris avoidance, meaning anytime it detects, like Space Command detects, like there is a debris debris cloud floating towards it, they will move the ISS out of the harm's way. That needs to be done. That cannot be like just, oh, we're gonna do after 2-3 years. No, that has to be done now if it happens. So if Russia backs out right now and there is no tangible way of boosting the station, it could put station in very serious danger of space debris, not in danger of falling into Earth, but danger of space debris. Now, thankfully, ironically also, Cygnus spacecraft, it was also built as a ability to reboost these ISS. People figured it, like ISS is such a big and bulky thing, you should have multiple ways of boosting it. So Cygnus had that. Now NG-17 is the mission that was done just in this February. It will do a reboost. That's why the logo is very insignia, mission insignia, and system is built specifically for that. It's supposed to do a reboost. Now, if done correctly, that should give Americans a proper way of like, dude, we got the reboosting part of it. So this puppy can act as a, emergency system or like a primary system. Again, this is just a test right now. And again, if the test is successful, that should provide the fact that, like, America got this. They got this. They do not have to emergency re-engineer Dragon capsule to work. Because Dragon was not built specifically for it. It was built to carry a lot of people. It does that surprisingly well. And you can pay attention to the, like, how people are put inside a Soyuz capsule versus how people are put inside a Dragon capsule. Like, there is a night and day difference how big Dragon is from the inside. So fundamentally, at this point in time, if things go well, and again, I'm pretty sure by the time you are watching this video, this mission has been already performed, it should be safe. ISS should be safe. It should have the ability to dodge any space debris, and it has more than enough oomph on itself that it's gonna survive in orbit for very, very long time. However, there is a catch here. Not catch as in, like, there is an option. Basically, ESA and NASA can abandon ship. Now you're like, why the heck they will do that? Well, it does provide them a very hard sanction. Again, it's painful for them. It will cripple themselves for around 2 to 3 years, but it will give them a very serious advantage. First, it will make a Russian's liability, meaning if ESA withdraws, if NASA withdraws, if ISS falls into China, that will be a direct act of war at that point in time. If it falls under India, that will be a direct act of war. If it falls under USA, it will be direct act of war. So Russia either have to deorbit it very quickly for safety reasons, or they have to maintain it in higher orbit for a very long time. That makes it ISS from, like, I'm gonna twist your arm to do this is a liability. It's almost like if you have watched Expanse last season, it's like how a station was used as a liability. That's the same thing can be done here. And why would you sacrifice something like ISS? Well, reality is, from a practical point, remove the emotional point, remove the pride point. it has crossed its service life, meaning it was designed for a certain amount of time. It's like it should serve you well for, let's say, 20 years. It has crossed that 20 years. Again, it's not a bad system, it's not a broken, it's just like, yeah, I have served my duty. It's like I did everything I need to do. Consequence of that, now it's old and it's decaying. Now you might be like, why things are decaying in space? Well, again, it is going from solar radiation to no solar radiation, solar radiation to no solar radiation. That still adds a lot of thermal stressing, so to say. And again, things are, again, you have rockets that are attaching to it, docking to it, undocking to it, boosting around it. Again, things are happening. And again, be mindful, the most destructive force in the nature is inside it. We call it humans. So there is serious amount of decay in the space station, serious amount of just aging. For example, solar panels. Like, when was the last time you heard solar panels ever become a problem? ISS is the only thing that I know in modern times that, like, we have exceeded the lifespan of solar panels. They have to add new solar panels on this. So it has crossed a point. So at this point in time, it is too fragile. And again, like, I did not even knew this. This is a common thing apparently. Now there is a crack in the module. Like, yeah, this is normal news now. It's like, oh, there is a new crack found. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, because it's that old. It happens. It's one of those things. It's like time does not stop when you are in space. So fundamentally, it has too many fail points and very high maintenance cost. And there is another consequence. ISS requires spacesuit, basically extravehicular suits. Those suits have also run out, meaning if any of those suits break, the end, there is no replacement ready for it. So fundamentally, this is almost on borrowed time. So if they flat out abandoned it at this point in time, like, okay, Russia, you win, you take care of this, and if you drop this now, then we're gonna consider an act of war. It gives something to Russia that they cannot afford. To give you a context of money, what kind of money we are talking about, let's take NASA. 22 billion annually. That's some GG amounts of money. China, that is 11 billion. That is some serious money, but again, half. Then you come to ESA, that is 7.4. Not bad, not terrible. And then you come to Germany, again 4.4. And then you have France, that is 3. And then you have Russia, that is around 1.9 billion. That's not a lot. Let that sink in. That's not a lot of money to survive something like this. To give you a context, like, there is a whole ground crew in NASA that consumes significant amount of money, resources, time, location, everything. And there are like 3 crews running A, B, and C that are, like, constantly in rotation to make sure ISS has 24/7 watchful eyes. That is fundamentally expensive. If USA goes yoink, if European Union goes yoink, the end. Like, Russia cannot support it. You might like, okay, what if they start to do crew missions there and use it as a shooting ground? People will pay for the movies. Russia's economy is not that big. It's not Bollywood. It's not that huge. You would be surprised. Like, people have this illusion because of Soviet Union that Russia is like awesome, powerful, have GG amounts of bank balance. It's not. It's flat out not. Like, if European Union as a whole goes into Russia, it's like, you know what, mano y mano, you versus me, let's see who wins. It's gonna be really bad day for Russia, like really, really bad days. And both parties have nukes, and here's the deal, they have far more nukes. And not to mention, any nuclear defense system has an overwhelming limit, meaning if you have an ICBM interceptor, it can only intercept, let's say, 100 missiles. You fire 10,000 at them, what the hell you gonna do? So flat out, like, from an actual economic point of view, abandoning ship actually gives a very big headache to Russia, because they have to do something very quickly to this. Now, this may sound a bad deal. It's like, we are giving up a space station, but it does allow NASA to do 2 birds with 1 stone, basically. Now, why would you do that? Because whenever this sort of national emergency kind of scenario happens, you get a lot of political power very quickly, meaning things that would take years to, like, go through Congress, go through Parliament, will be done instantaneously. This was done in 2014. That's how we got commercial resupply missions, commercial crew programs, and it did work out well. While, yes, we had 3 players, only 1 survived, but at least we have 1. Rather than 0, we have only 1. Again, we have something. So what they can do is basically kill SLS using emergency powers and kill LogJ. Now, why would you want to kill SLS at this point in time? SLS has shown flat out at this point in time, every analyst, every businessman, everyone who knows anything about money is like, this puppy will cost around 4 billion per launch. That's too expensive. That's bonkersly expensive. That is so expensive that makes Apollo look like a chump change. That is unsustainable. Even NASA cannot afford this puppy for multiple times. Or if they dare to do that, they will be in a scenario where it's like, yeah, we are cancelling this project, we are cancelling this project, we are cancelling this satellite, we are cancelling this in order to survive this puppy. That is flat out unsustainable. Now, using the emergency power, it's like, dude, we are emergency, we have to control our situation. They can, like, yoink this puppy quietly. Shh. yoink. Then they can kill this puppy. Now killing this puppy is the first important thing, because be mindful, that's why Russia is so confident in their space program. Is like they know this is garbage, and China also knows this is garbage. China is like, okay, what if we directly land on the moon? So China and Russia has what we call a memorandum of understanding, because they both know this is stupid. So they can kill this now also, because again, even if NASA actively wants to kill this puppy, it will take years, and by that time they'll still be consuming money. So utilizing this current crisis, they can just like yoink, yoink. Now you're like, okay, wouldn't that leave NASA vulnerable? Well, yes and no. First, it will save up a lot of money, because yes, all these things consume insane amount of money, even though none of them are real at this point in time, as in real, as in like flying actually this. And Lobgy is so goddamn stupid. It will be around orbiting moon, and it will have occupancy for 1 month. How the heck that passed Congress? It's like, yeah, we are building a station that's gonna cost more than ISS, and somehow it's gonna have occupancy of 1 year, as in like 1 month out of 12, meaning 11 months it will be empty. How the heck that happened? Again, they just wanted to flex that we because there was a serious issue that ISS crossed this threshold. They wanted to retire that puppy in 2024. Now, because every Tom, Dick and Harry else failed other than SpaceX, they did not want to do that. And the primary reason why they do not want to do that is simply because China does have a space station. So as a mine's bigger than yours kind of problem, people want to say that, Western world has space station. They do not want to be in a world where it's like, only China has space station, even though it may be temporary, but they do not want to do that. But again, right now, taking that temporary loss to the face, temporary punch to the face, will yield very great results. I mean, like, it has already did that. Space shuttle loss was a very big gut punch to the USA, but it created a SpaceX. It literally created a scenario where it's like everybody's like, we are launching 100 rockets. SpaceX, we have landed 100 rocket. Come to me, then we'll talk. So that is awesome. Right now they can utilize this crisis to simplify the process and really get going and divert all the funds in making new cost-effective space station. Now, what is the clearest option? Basically Axiom Space. Everything about this is pre-built, pre-designed. It's under construction right now, meaning if expedited, this puppy can be launched within a year, meaning you will have a space station ready to go, done. Now it does require a lot of extra basically power and module, but again, if you're expediting it, you can literally go 2-3 or make a interim module. Basically only job would be like provide the extra electrical power and cooling power that you need flat out. And it was designed from day one to act as an independent space station. So it's not a new thing, oh, it has to needs ISS. No, it does not need ISS. It's using ISS as a seed ground, meaning some place to dock. So once you have this, you can have interim which does the propulsion and extra power and cooling if it needs that, and you can start building your station from day one, like flat out. This can be done very quickly, meaning as quickly as 2-3 years. That's awesome. Like that USA will go from I have so many interdependency to like, dude, I'm USA, I got this, okay, I don't have to worry about European Union. And this will also bitch slap European Union to act. And I'm thankful that they are realizing that they have wasted boatload of money. Again, you have a $7 billion project and somehow you do not have a single human rated system. What the hell? So this is very awesome for NASA. Like same way 2014 created SpaceX, this, if they do correctly, they can clear all this garbage. Because again, even if NASA actually wants to cancel this puppy, it will take them years, and that would have wasted billions. So NASA can really milk this puppy for a betterment of whole USA, and USA will go from, no, we are not dependent on anyone. We're like, we got this. But let's see what happens. So this was a presentation on futures of ISS. Hopefully you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst your friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike. Press it twice to show me extra disappointment. Please leave a comment because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free, and as always, thanks for watching.